Sabasaba is a significant day for Kenya. The day is celebrated on July 7th every year and has historic significance for the country. On July 7th of 1990, Kenyans took to the streets to demand free and fair elections. Sabasaba Day is remembered as the day when the nationwide protest took place in 1990.
For an older generation, July 7th or Sabasaba marks that pretentious day in 1990, which signaled the beginning of the end of one-party dictatorship in Kenya. It is a day revered for unprecedented defiance in police-state era, when even with their leaders arrested, thousands of citizens heeded calls to attend a pro-democracy rally at Kamukunji grounds to push the drive for an end to the dictatorship then exemplified by President Daniel Arap Moi. Police, out to disperse the crowds by whatever force necessary, met a populace no longer cowering in fear. The battles between police employing tear gas, truncheons and bullets up against youthful stone-throwing protesters not only became the stuff of legend, but was widely recognized as the turning point in the struggle for democracy and human rights. That was the day leaders of the nascent democracy movement, including a youthful Raila Odinga himself, fellow young Turks such as James Orengo, now Siaya governor, and lawyers Paul Muite and Gitobu Imanyara, who both later became MPs. They were accompanied by campaign icons Kenneth Matiba, Charles Rubia, Martin Shikuku, and Raila's father Oginga Odinga. They called a rally at Kamukunji to press the campaign launched 4 months earlier for revival of the multi-party system. There have been incidents reported in the past during the Sabasaba Day. Extensive riots were reported in Nairobi and other towns in Kenya during the first week of the July 1990. The July riots were reportedly sparked in June 1990 when, in an effort to silence political opposition and mounting criticism against government corruption and refusal to restore Kenya to a multi-party democracy, the struggle against bad governance hit a new peak on July 7, 1990, when two former cabinet ministers, Kenneth Matiba and Charles Rubia, called a public rally at the historic Kamukunji grounds in Nairobi to press for comprehensive constitutional and political reforms. Besides calling on the government to embrace pluralism politics, the two demanded the management of public affairs should be conducted in a transparent and accountable manner. This is what gave birth to Sabasaba Day, which consummated the struggle for the second liberation. The overwhelming public support for Sabasaba demonstrations forced the government to deploy armed police backed by ruthless dogs to disperse crowds. Then President Daniel Arap Moi ordered the arrest of several reforms advocates, including prominent opposition ministers, lawyers and former detainees. A pro-democracy rally organized by members of the opposition groups at Kamukunji Stadium in Nairobi on July 4, 1990 was declared illegal. However, 6,000 people reportedly turned up and riots broke out when a contingent of police arrived in riot gear and began using batons and tear gas to disperse the crowd. The crowd responded by hurling stones at the police and stoning cars. Soon, the riot spread to the outskirts of Nairobi and other towns of Kenya such as Nakuru, Murang'a, Narok, Nyandarua, Kiambu, Nyeri and Thika. The riots reportedly lasted 4 days and left 21 people dead, many others injured, and more than 1,000 people in jail. The leaders of the movement, including among others Rubia, Matiba, Jaramogi Odinga, Gitobu Imanyara, Mohamed Ibrahim, Masinde Muliro, Martin Shikuku and James Orengo, were either detained, imprisoned or put under house arrest. This year's Sabasaba was to champion for the reduction of the cost of living, and leading the front is Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, among others. Their main agenda to push the government to the edge. Brian Amwai, Look Up TV, Nairobi.